everybody on YouTube. So today I wanted to talk to you guys about recent fragrances I purchased. The first one I want to talk about is Britney Spears Private Show. This is one that got discontinued and I'd heard a lot of really good things about it. I feel like I just remember people talking about like coffee and caramel and maybe vanilla and how this was like one of her best fragrances. So I was really intrigued and I just bought it. I'd been wanting to buy a bunch of celebrity perfumes, so that's what a lot of these are gonna be because I kind of wanted to experience some of them and I was just in the mood. This is one I haven't had a proper wear of. I think I sprayed it on my wrist once and I didn't like it very much. Smelling it, it's pleasant, you know. It smells like, it's kind of, to me, it's a little screechy. It's very, you know, candy, very like high-pitched candied sweetness. That isn't really what I was picturing when I heard people talk about it. I was thinking more of like a latte, like a creamy, yummy coffee vanilla scent. And to me, there's something just very kind of screechy, high-pitched, two-dimensional synthetic about it that I don't enjoy. Yeah, like I really, really don't like this. I am not a huge fan of this one, but I'm not mad about it. The next one I got was M by Mariah Carey. So this one's iconic. This was Mariah Carey's first fragrance and it has some really, really interesting notes. It has marshmallow, incense, I think gardenia, maybe even ylang ylang. And I'm actually wearing this right now. This one I really like. It's a kind of a creamy floral fragrance, I feel like is kind of the vibe it gives me. It makes me think of kind of similarly to something like Dior Addict. Not that it smells like it or is even necessarily in the same fragrance family, but it just makes me think of like smooth, warm, creamy floral fragrances that just have kind of a really nice sensual quality to them. When I wore this today, I asked my mom what she thought. She's like, "That smells like mothballs," and she hated it. But I really like it. I think it's nice. I layered this with Beach Nights from Bath and Body Works since there's something about the notes of this that made me think of sort of like a nighttime beachy floral fragrance. And you know, this also has marshmallow like that one. It also has like salty notes like that one. But it also kind of has these nice florals like gardenia and I think ylang ylang that just add just a more sensual quality to it, and maybe even like a slight fleshiness that just makes it, I really like this. I feel like this is also kind of it's more like grown up and refined and elegant, but still like really sensual and cozy. Definitely one worth checking out. The next one I want to talk about is one that I have been dying to try for a really long time. I've always been so curious about this one ever since very early into me getting into fragrances, and that is Fancy by Jessica Simpson. Again, this is one of the most like iconic celebrity fragrances, a really like beloved vanilla scent, and as a fan of vanilla, of course. I also grew up being obsessed with Jessica Simpson. I got those like edible body lotions and stuff when I was like 8 years old because I'd been watching the Newlyweds and I thought she was the coolest. Like her and Paris Hilton were everything to me. So I've been really excited to get my nose on this, and I was not disappointed. To me, this smells like really, really sugary in a really nice way. Like, when you just think of that like caramely, sugary, vanillic sweetness. And then it has, I think it's apricot in here that just gives it a nice little punch of fruitiness. And they smell really good together. This one really projects, it lasts, and it's just like a nice, playful, thick gourmand. You know, if you're a fan of vanilla or kind of like brown sugar, burnt sugar kind of scents, I think this is definitely one worth giving a shot. And then the next one I wanted to try that I was really intrigued by, this is the one that Fair Truly's talked about before. It's Still by Jennifer Lopez. And what really piqued my interest was that it's supposed to have like Earl Grey and whatnot, kind of like an Earl Grey tea vibe going on. And I love Earl Grey tea. Tea as a note in perfumes is something that really intrigues me and is something I'm always like really drawn to. When I smell this, the smell of it is so familiar. There's a little bit of like a dryer sheet thing going on in this for me. It's very like clean, fresh, but there's like kind of a tanginess to it. I think it has bergamot and like Earl Grey tea I think has bergamot, right? When I smell it, it doesn't make me think of Earl Grey tea, but it just has this kind of zesty fruitiness that is a little bit more citrusy, but not what I would usually think of. And it's really nice. And it also has, I think there's mint in here, which does give it this cooling effect. It's one that I have worn this a few times and it's really nice, but I feel like I might enjoy this more in the spring and summer, and I'm excited to test it more when spring and summer come along. But I do really like the smell of this. There's something nostalgic about it because it smells so familiar to me. And it could just be smelling this, I don't know. The next one I want to talk about is one I did not think I would end up getting. I got a sample of it from Lucky Scent, and it's Gold Leaves from Régime de Fleurs. This is a really nice scent. I really, really love it. It really does, to me, it smells like leaves in the fall. There's a very kind of like green, a definite greenness to this, like this green kind of mentholy kind of thing I get out of it. As I've worn this lately, it does make me think of leaves, and there is a mustiness to it. I think my mom complained about this one too. She really doesn't like when there's like a mustiness or like a mothballiness to the perfumes I wear, and like so many of them she complains about that. But it's like, I don't know, for some reason I guess I'm drawn to that, even though like I personally don't pick that up all the time, but I definitely smell that in this one. It does make me think of like autumn leaves like on the ground as they're dying. But there's something just comforting about this, and it smells really, it's very addicting to smell it. It's one that, it also is definitely not like a crowd pleaser scent, and I haven't worn it out yet because I just makes me nervous, especially when I'm at work. I always get so self-conscious about the fragrances I'm wearing when I'm at work. But this is the one I'd like to wear. I feel like, I mean, obviously this is a great one for autumn. This is autumn in a bottle. This smells like the autumn air. But I'm definitely kind of acclimating to perfumes where it isn't just about smelling good to other people. You know, that's something I'm still kind of I'm getting adjusting more to like just enjoying things for myself too, and enjoying like the feeling a perfume gives you, or like the, I don't know, like all the different things. I'm still learning so much about it, and this one I've enjoyed a lot. This was like half off on their website. I've heard that Régime de Fleurs, a lot of times when they have fragrances of theirs that are, or bottles of their fragrances that are kind of getting older, they'll just list them as half off on their website. And when I saw that they did that for this one, I got really excited, and I was like, I need to do it. Because it was like really super great deal. But yeah, this one's really nice and evocative. If you wanted to make it more likable, or give an already likable perfume a little bit more edge, a layering combination that I like with this one is L'Interdit Intense, which is one of my tuberose perfumes. And to me, they go really well together, and I feel like this adds, where that's sort of like this really creamy vanilla tuberose, this adds like a nice greenness to that, and just a little bit more complexity, and I think they go really well together. But on its own, this is such a mood, and definitely one I would recommend smelling, especially if you like autumn. But definitely not a safe blind buy. But there's no such thing as a safe blind buy, dude. Like, but that's what makes it fun. Okay, and then the last one that I got recently that I want to talk to you guys about is Good Girl from Carolina Herrera. This is one that I never thought I would end up getting. I've obviously heard a lot about this one since I started getting into perfume. One day I just kind of got the urge. I was like, I just want to get a scent like Good Girl, you know, just something that like super popular, really beloved, feels like it's part of the time we're in. I feel like, you know, even though there's a lot of, you know, really popular fragrances get a bad rap a lot because you get like sick of smelling them, and like everyone's smelling the same, and they're usually less risky. They don't, I don't know, like there's a lot of reasons to be cynical about it, I guess. And I totally understand that, but I also feel like sometimes it's kind of fun to indulge and just enjoy something that might be considered more of like a basic bitch scent or whatnot. And I just feel like when a perfume is super popular, it really does mark a time and place. And I feel like that inherently makes it kind of special and interesting. And I say all of that, like, I also just like, sometimes I do want to smell like a hot girl, you know, like, and that's, you know, this really, to me, feels kind of like the Dior Sauvage, but for women. This would really be the one I would think of. So this has like a million notes. It's hard to really say what this smells like. To me, what it smells like is when you have a magazine that has the little sample pages that you rip off and smell it. It smells so much just like that. However, when wearing it and like on the skin, I do think it kind of, it expands, and it is just this really like kind of creamy, slightly tart, kind of floral, but in a very vague way where it's hard to really pinpoint what the floral is. And like a definite creaminess that feels kind of vanillic. I've heard a lot of people say that what they get from this is just a lot of tonka bean. That's another one of these notes that I'm kind of still trying to learn and be able to figure out so that I can like grasp it when I'm smelling it and things. Because it's, for me, like when I think of things like tonka bean and amber and like all those different notes, I just think of vanilla. It's hard for me to like really distinguish them. But yeah, ultimately to me this is just like a very kind of, you know, it's a sexy, sensual, tart, creamy, floral scent. I don't know. It's definitely a mishmash of things, but I like it. And it's fun to wear. But yeah, so those are all of the perfumes I've gotten in the last couple months, and I've been enjoying most of them. But I'm definitely excited to kind of continue getting to know them more. But yeah, what perfumes have you guys been into lately? Um, I will talk to you guys later. I hope your New Year's going well. Bye.